It's got to be real.
What's going on? So, a bit cold, a bit chilly. I just popped out and I thought I wanted to do a video on Tyson Fury, and for me, I wanted to talk about technically, Tyson Fury, what I think about him, and for me, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I'm entitled to it. I think Tyson Fury is going to be an all-time great. Reason being is that I think he's technically so good and he's come on leaps and bounds, and I don't think he showed it in the Klitschko fight. And I wanted to make this video before he fights again and he really demonstrates and showcases his skills, because I don't think he's showcased his skills yet, because I don't believe he's come out of a certain gear. And I honestly feel that Tyson Fury had a lackluster performance against Klitschko. In terms of what he can do, because I think he's so much better, but he just hasn't showcased it yet. And I think his fight against Klitschko, he didn't do very well. I think both fighters didn't turn up, to be honest with you. I think Klitschko didn't turn up as well, as good as he should have, and I think in a rematch it would be a different fight. I think it would be at a higher level. I think there was a lot of pressure on the first fight. Klitschko should have performed because he's been in his position so many times. Tyson Fury, he performed good enough, but I still don't think he performed to his capability. But look, yeah, this is a video about Tyson Fury, and it's freezing out here, so let's get some movement, right? Look, Tyson Fury, what makes him good, right, is that he's a tall fighter, okay? When he fights other shorter fighters, right? So he fights fighters who are shorter than him. What Tyson Fury does is he stands tall like this, right? And he'll keep his opponent at range. And when they get close, he'll just grab them, bang, and he'll tie them up. If he needs to, he'll rough them up on the inside, right? With his uppercuts, with his hooks, with his bodywork. And he's even got, this is the incredible thing about how technically gifted Tyson Fury is and how much he's come along, is he can't just fight orthodox, and so he doesn't just fight with a shoulder roll, which he uses, right? He actually fights like this in orthodox position, I think, but he actually is really good at fighting a shoulder roll in a southpaw position. Where have you ever seen that? I mean, how many fighters have the ability to do that, where they can switch, where they can be fighting orthodox, keep you at range, and then all of a sudden turn southpaw and then be fighting you with the shoulder roll against the ropes? And this is the thing about Fury, is that when he's in the center of the ring, right, we're going to talk about his game when he's got fighters at a distance, but first we're going to talk about how good he is on the inside, which is very, very, very rare, because if we look back historically at boxers such as even Muhammad Ali, who didn't really have an inside game, but Ali didn't really need an inside fighting game, because he had some Ali had some fighting game on the inside, but the prime Muhammad Ali, what made him, the Cassius Clay, so great was his outside fighting ability, his control of range, his footwork. He was just so fast. Ali was so fast, and he had such good split-second timing that he didn't need to fight in the inside, because the fighters back in them days did not have the foot speed that fighters developed later in the 90s. You didn't have like a Mike Tyson. I mean, Joe Frazier came along, but look, we're going to talk about that another day, right? This is right now is about Tyson Fury. And the thing about Fury is his inside game is immense. I mean, even though he's a big guy, he knows how to use his height, and he's something that we haven't really seen in boxing before, because he's a fighter who can fight on the inside and he's a fighter who can fight on the outside. He's a fighter who has tremendous footwork and speed, and he's got height as well in heavyweight boxing. I can't recall a fighter in the history of boxing who has, and I'm making big claims here, and I'm not brown-nosing, I'm being honest here. I can't remember a fighter, maybe someone like Larry Holmes we could look at, but with the exception of just a few fighters, I can honestly say that there's not many, in my opinion, who have the capability to do what Tyson Fury can do in the sport of boxing, because of his height, his power, his reach, and his inside fighting ability. Because he doesn't really have any gaps in his game. From what I've seen, I can't see. I think he's got a few gaps, which he will, but I think over time he'll develop more and more. I don't think he's in his prime right now. I think he's nearing it, but I think another year or so, he needs more experience at the top level. But I think Tyson Fury can perform much better than what he's done so far. And this is the thing what I'm talking about. As we look into Tyson Fury's inside game, he's got shoulder roll, southpaw, and orthodox. You can't prepare for that, okay? That's so difficult. And we're talking heavyweight boxing. which isn't as technical as welterweight boxing or middleweight boxing or the lower weight classes. Heavyweight boxing consists of a lot of power, a lot of strength training, speed, ferociousness. That's what heavyweight boxing is all about. But I mean, obviously, like in heavyweight boxing, the thing is that one punch can totally change it around, whereas in the welterweight division and the middleweight division, the lower weights, you don't get as much power as you get in heavyweight boxing. But heavyweight boxing, fighters carry so much power, and a chin is a chin is a chin, and if they catch you, can knock you out. But I mean, with Tyson, he's so technical that it's shocking to me. Now, this is what I'm saying to you. So, again, back to this, right? Tyson uses a shoulder roll, so if a short fighter comes at him, it's easy for him to just lean back, right? And just use his shoulder, right? Grab you on the inside, right? Tie you up, he pivots, right? And then he'll have the fighter against the ropes. This Tyson Fury does this a lot, right? He'll be fighting. And when you see him against Klitschko, now this is the thing about Tyson Fury, right? About his range control in the ring. And I always emphasize this, that range control is everything. And also lateral movement. I've made a video talking about how Tyson Fury is one of few fighters from Britain who doesn't fight in the typical British fashion. Now, Anthony Joshua, not knocking him, right? But as a fighter, Anthony Joshua, he fights straight forward. He comes in straight lines at you, right? And he'll try to cut the ring off here and there, but he's still pretty much in straight lines. He doesn't bounce around using his angles here and there because he's so big, right? He'll come in a straight line, bang, bang, bang. And the reason that Anthony Joshua looks so furious is because when he has his opponent against the ropes, he's able to really like land shots, right, dug in, stationary with his feet planted. But if he was to fight someone like Tyson Fury, you would instantly see is as Anthony Joshua comes in forward like this to his opponent, right, which would be Tyson Fury, right? Tyson Fury would be here, right, and all of a sudden he just pivot this way, bang bang, and he'd catch Joshua at angles. And that's what Fury does. He fights in angles. He's able to use the shoulder roll against shorter fighters, but I don't think he will use it as much against someone like Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, because these fighters are a lot taller and they can catch him up at top, and there's gaps in the shoulder roll. The shoulder roll isn't. It's a really good technique, but you have to really get it down to a T, which I don't think he's got it down to a T yet, but I think he knows how to utilize it, but I don't think it's perfect. I think it'll work well against shorter fighters, and you see someone like Povetkin today, or if we look at just generally shorter fighters who are in the heavyweight division, I think that these fighters, right, can't touch Tyson Fury because he's able to deal with all of them. He's shown us against Klitschko, he knows how to fight against a taller fighter because, again, now we're going to talk about outside fighting with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, right? If you look at him, he spars Hughie Fury to the body, okay? And if you look at Tyson Fury's lateral movement, he'll be fighting here, bam, 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 and then he'll come here, southpaw, bam, 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 and then he'll come back here. And see, because his feet, right? Look, if you look at my legs here, right? Tyson Fury, what he's able to do, right? He just steps this way because he can fight this way, okay? And then he'll come this way, orthodox. See, most fighters, what they have to do, if you're fighting orthodox here, bam, 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 right? If you're fighting orthodox, what they'll have to do is they'll have to pivot, bang, bang, bang. But you see, moving to this side here, you're off balance, you're square on here. Tyson Fury, what he's able to do, this is what Kell Brook does. This is why the Ingle camp is so different in British boxing, because the Ingle camp are able to go from orthodox to southpaw very easily, and they're able to fight in both ways, right? So you see here, Tyson Fury can pivot this way, bang, bang, get you here, and then you'll be here, right? And then what he'll do is, once you're back here, he'll be moving around you. He's fast, very, very fast on his feet for a heavyweight. He'll automatically jump here, bam, 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 catch you on the body, move back here, bam, 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 back here, bang, here, and then he can switch this way. His ability to be able to switch from orthodox to southpaw, the fact that he's got so much range, the fact that he's so tall, right? It's gonna be so hard for anybody to beat this guy, because you got to remember when he fought Klitschko didn't even win many rounds against Fury, in my opinion. And we're talking about a legend. We're talking about Vladimir Klitschko, who's dominated boxing. What do you think Fury's gonna do? If I'm talking rubbish and I'm wrong here, you explain to me how Tyson Fury went to his hometown, beat him, right? A super champion in Vladimir Klitschko, with Tyson not even on his A game, under so much immense pressure. You explain to me how Tyson Fury did that, okay? Fury, in my opinion, would dance circles around Anthony Joshua, around Vladimir Klitschko again, Deontay Wilder, all these guys, I'm telling you now, they're good boxers and they're good fighters. But what wins you fights isn't so much brute force. It can sometimes, but brute force, especially in heavyweight boxing, it can win you fights, whichever way you swing it. But the thing is, brute force only works when your opponent is in front of you. If you're on your toes and you can dance for 12 like Tyson could do at the size that he is, and he's got long levers, right? And you see Tyson Fury, sometimes he looks off balance, but did you not notice that when he fought Klitschko, right? There was a point in the fight where Klitschko threw a punch, Tyson Fury had him totally off balance. Klitschko was literally facing this way, and Tyson and he had his back towards Tyson, and Tyson went up to him, bang, and cracked him on the side. With Klitschko being totally facing the opposite way, and this is a super champion who's had so much experience and he's trained under Emmanuel Stewart. What do you think's gonna happen when Tyson Fury faces novices, right? Rising prospects in boxing. They're going to get totally dismantled. They're not going to get to use that power, because in order to use your power, you have to be planted, bang, so you can throw that loaded punch. And these guys, you can throw loaded punches on other novices, but when you're facing a guy like Tyson, Tyson's going to be moving like this. He's going to be using his head weight, he's going to be lowering you in, and then he's going to flip this way, bang, and he's going to hit you this way, and then he's gone again, and he's going to use his jab, and he's fast, and he uses his jab, he's really fast. And this is the other thing about Tyson, if he's behind on points, he can actually fight on the inside. Tyson Fury can come, and if you see his power on his left hooks, his right hooks, when he steps into his punches and he plants his feet and becomes flat-footed, Tyson Fury can bang and he can really crack. And he's a fully grown man now, and Tyson Fury, in my opinion, right now, I don't think his chin's going to be an issue for him. I think when he fought Steve Cunningham, he was a bit young. He fought Chisora, he was a bit young. I think he's a bit more sturdy in the chin, he's a bit more solid. Tyson Fury wants, and he's dedicated to the sport of boxing, he can do something which I think hasn't been done before. The only criticism I've got of Tyson is I think that his body is not in... I think he's fit and healthy, very fit and healthy, and he's got good stamina, he's got good power, and he's lubricated well. In his, like, I mean, his body up at top is not stiff, okay, and he needs to have a fluid body. But I think he could improve on the diet, because I don't think, like, his body fat levels, right, they're not really bad as people think it is. It's not as bad as people think it is, but I think he could use some improvement in the diet, because I think, from what I know, Tyson Fury eats bread, and bread is bad for you. And I think that's where a lot of, if Tyson Fury switched to low GI carbohydrates, right, and he sorted his diet out a little bit, I think he'd lose a bit of body fat. He's strong as it is. I think just a little bit of body fat reduction, I think, would make Tyson go for it. I think he'd improve just a little bit more. And it's scary, and I think he needs a bit more experience in terms of fighting at the elite level. But this is what I'm saying, man. Tyson Fury is gonna devastate the heavyweight division in time to come, and you're all gonna see it. And trust me, I picked Fury to win against Klitschko for a reason. And believe me, when I say I know what I'm talking about here, I promise you, if I was unsure, it'd be different. I'm not unsure. I'm telling you, he hasn't shown what he can do, and it is very special what he can do. It's just a matter of time. Comments in section below, subscribe, let me know what you think about Tyson Fury and what I've talked about Fury and why he's going to be such a dominant force in the heavyweight division. In a bit.